prisoner being kept there. My rams meet the leader of the gang from the temple quarter. Did make a good impression. I think the feeling was mutual. I've already read that. My adversary's running. The mage is in hiding, yet his influence extends over the whole of Vizima and possibly beyond. My adversary is a renegade mage. This means that for some reason he was expelled from the wizard's circle. Past renegade mages performed the witcher's mutations. Berengar remains one step ahead of me. He was in Vizima where he was hired by Kalkstein, the alchemist, just like me. I met Carmen, a prostitute from Vizima's slums. All the local strumpets value her opinion, and it can be said that Carmen is their representative. Dryads. Thank you for the slight censoring. I got a lesson in the customs of the forest folk. Must admit they're different from humans, in a way I like. Golan Vivaldi is a dwarf who's very touched about his race. Vivaldis are financiers, and one of their banks is located in Vizima's trade quarter. The money for the professor's bail came from Vivaldi's bank. That's how the criminal walked free. Vivaldi lost control of family business. There was a hospital takeover. The bank is now controlled by human owners. It explains the dwarf's bitterness as well as his poverty. I unfairly suspected Vivaldi of financing Salamander. The evidence indicates he is innocent. Vivaldi's relations with non-humans, including persecuted Scoia'tael. Though, gonna be honest, it's probably unfair to say that Scoia'tael were persecuted. It's like saying if the dwarves, elves, gnomes, whatever, they're persecuted. The Scoia'tael are an organization that's freedom fighters. From another perspective, they advocate genocide. So it's like I said before, console round. Jethro is a guard in the city dungeon. He would merely be a standard smartass, except that he's addicted to Fizztech. And let's be honest, he's not really that much of a smartass either. This absent-minded alchemist seems nice, but it's obvious that scientific theories are of greater concern to him than the mere prosaic aspects of life. The alchemist sometimes uses the services of witchers. Berengar used to work for him. Kalkstein has dealings with Vizima's criminal underworld. Strange company for an alchemist to keep. Prostitutes. Vizima's temple quarter offers joys aplenty to those who can afford them. Raymond Marlove, detective. I had a detective named Raymond Marlove to help me search for Salamander's leader. Raymond, the bitter, cynical man, refused to lift a finger until I paid him, but he also seems to know a lot, including his craft. Though, gonna be honest with you, Grolt, you don't do jobs unless people pay you. Though, you do the job first, but still. And you got that for free, in this case. Unless he still took the 100 off me, but he just didn't say it. Siegfried of the Daniels? I can't remember how I said it. A knight of the old Order of the Flaming Rose is an idealist who adheres to the Order's rules, but is not devoid of common sense. Polite and open, he's unlike many of his brothers from the Order in that he's not prejudiced. He's undeniably courageous and demonstrated this when he descended alone into the sewers to fight the cockatrice. Siegfried and I defeated the cockatrice together. The knight proved to be both polite and a skilled swordsman. Tower. The temple quarter of Vizima lives a fence named Tower. He has many things that belong to Berengar and also deals in illegal goods. I swear I got them before, but maybe off him. But maybe he only gives it to you when you prove his innocence. The fence is a repulsive man and uses particularly foul language. During the day, he can be found in his store, which is located in a house in the temple quarter. Tower put Berengar's witcher equipment up for sale. Wonder how he acquired these things. The fence's circle of influence is really wide. It also includes city guards. Vaska. Vaska is the leader of the brickmakers who live in the swamp. She talks in riddles and seems a bit crazy. She seems to worship the water lords, probably Valdunoi, and is quite touchy when it comes to them. Vincent. The captain of city guard released the professor, one of the most wanted criminals of Temeria. Vincent is captain of the city guard and main executor of the king's law in the temple quarter. Vincent Maes is one of the few who knew that I was going into Sewers to kill the cockatrice, that I could only leave by the exit where I encountered the Salamander bandits. Some say that it's impossible to get in touch with Maes at night. After dark, the captain vanishes into thin air. Yevon. Yevon the elf is as conceited as he is eloquent. He seems cunning and wise. Moreover, he despises humans, considering them aggressive barbarians, and has respect only for the elder races. Still, this disillusioned elf treats me with respect in his own peculiar way. I helped the dwarf being attacked by racists. He recognized me as an old friend of his. The dwarf's name is Zoltan Chevy. He claims to have witnessed my death many years ago in Rivia. Zoltan seems reasonable and pragmatic, takes the world with a grain of salt and sees irony in most things. Just like other humans, he seems vexed by the racist atmosphere in Temeria. Zoltan managed to get to the temple quarter. The dwarf was happy to see me again. Glossary. Additional substances. An alchemical ingredient can contain one of 3 additional substances: albedo, nigredo, and rubido. If all of the ingredients chosen for the creation of a potion have identical additional substances, the resulting potion will provide additional benefits beyond its basic effect. Albedo, characterized by a lower level of toxicity. Nice. Nigredo potions affect coordination and concentration, increasing damage inflicted. Rubido, aside from the potion's primary effect, it also regenerates lost vitality. Codringer and Fen. I'm just going to take a quick drink. A famous pair of lawyers who ran a firm in Dorian until both partners died tragically under mysterious circumstances, which, if memory serves, are detailed in the book. At least the death of 2 lawyers are a pair of lawyers is, but it depends on if they're. But whether it's their death or not depends if they're in the book or not. I can't remember if it's them or someone else. At its height, the firm was retained by people from all over Temeria. So when it had difficulties, troubles, problems, they went to Codringer and Fen. So the firm's clients quickly received proof of dishonesty and malpractice by their business partner. They could count on receiving credit from a bank without insurance or security. As one of a long list of creditors, they'll be the only one to exact what was due from a company declaring bankruptcy. Their son will be released from the dungeon and cleared of all charges based either on irrefutable evidence or lack thereof. Because if evidence existed, it mysteriously disappeared. It disappeared mysteriously, while witnesses retracted any earlier testimony. The wife's lover or daughter's suitor would suffer complicated fractures in 3 limbs, including at least one upper, all as a result of an unfortunate accident. And an enemy with a grudge or some other troublesome individual would soon stop being a nuisance, often vanishing into thin air. That's how Codringer and Fen worked. The conjunction of spheres. A cataclysm which occurred 1,500 years ago, trapping in our dimension many unnatural creatures, including ghouls, graviers, and vampires. These beasts have no ecological niches of their own and are merely relics of bygone times. Going to Elven War, humans arrived during the conjunction, their own world having been destroyed. These human ancestors learned how to harness the power of primordial chaos. Thus, the first human wizards were born. Looking for a place in the world, humans took up arms against the elder races, who were unable to withstand the barbarians, and ultimately surrendered. This is how humans came to rule the world. The worshippers of the eternal fire believe in the undying flame as a symbol of survival and a guide through the darkness. They view it as a harbinger of progress and better days to come. Clerics of the eternal fire oversee the faithful, as well as their temples, where flames burn continuously. The Order of the Flaming Rose is the cult's militant arm. Dwarves, I've read that before. Dwarves are one of the elder races. They were once a dominant race along with the elves, but now their sole enclave is Markham, a mountain city rich in metal and mineral deposits. While the elder races, dwarves have assimilated best, and many now live in human cities. They own businesses and are often wealthy, though they meet with disdain and distrust. During the war with Nilfgaard, dwarves made a name for themselves as mercenaries, although many also fought in Scoia'tael commando units against the northern kingdoms. Elves. After gnomes, elves are the eldest race on the continent. They created a magnificent civilization and the greatest human cities. Like Vizima and Oxenford were built upon elven ruins. Elves also have a special affinity for magic, although their magic is different from that of humans. Elves are long-lived, yet the reproductive period of their lives ends quite early, and moreover, they reproduce much more slowly than humans. This is why they were defeated, the reason why they lost their preeminence in the world. Today, only 2 enclaves of the race remain: the Blue Mountains, where the elves suffer privatation and are dying out, and Dal Blahana, the Valley of the Flowers, which is ruled by the sorceress End Nagana. It's kind of hard to say that, but it is very Irishy. Like I wouldn't be like it seems like at the very least the Elven language is based off Irish, if not just straight out Irish. Like Blahana there, Blathanna is Blahana, means flower, or flowers, I think. Glana, Enid Naglana, Enid Angana, I believe. It's been a while since I've done Irish, and I was never particularly good at it either. But it won't be na. It will be on. Enid Angana. Oh Christ! It's like I'm back in Irish class. The Valley of the Flowers is a dependency of Nilfgaard. Elves are beautiful, long of race. They have pointed ears, sharp features, and possess no canine teeth. Elves are arrogant and proud. Over many centuries, they've developed a high and sophisticated culture. Few remain today, however, and are in constant conflict with human civilization. This is why so many young elves, eager to fight for their rights, join Scoia'tael commando units. Fistek. Fistek is a legal narcotic that is widely used in Temeria. It takes the form of white powder and is highly addictive. It can only be manufactured by professionals, or it can be manufactured only by professionals with the use of complicated alchemical equipment. Gnomes. Gnomes are secretive and mysterious. Most of them live in Maracam and are allied with the dwarves. They seldom interact with humans. Gnomes are talented craftsmen, miners, and inventors. Their technology is superior to that of humans. No weapons that can be equaled by no others. They can also be considered the eldest race on the continent. Colxine's notes. Here's what I've read from Colxine's notes. Compassion, Tipperat, Declan Uvarden. Fortunately, Colxine spelled this one out for me. I'd never have drawn the link between Uvarden and compassion. Mercy. Kizet. Vasca, leader of the brickmakers in Swamp. Now, how does Mercy figure into our relationship? Remember what Vasca said. Grolchud dem Mercy. I remember the riddle was that you can't show love, but you know one who can show mercy. Maybe Vasca can't show love. Some of these are already filled in. Like, it doesn't start off telling you that Vasca has it. And I don't think it's spelled out that Uvarden has it. Like, they're all a bit vague, and it's a bit of a riddle. I don't think he spells it out. Like, I don't think he says Uvarden or Vasca. I think they've been altered because I've already gotten them. Kingdom Malkat. The sewers beneath Vizima, one of my favourite places. Colxine must have had a gnome for an ancestor, managed to associate the sewers with some bit from a book. Understanding, power, glory, Vina, Givrath, and Ut. The statues of Malatawi, one in Swamp and the other in St. Lebiotis Hospital. No idea what prayer without faith can possibly mean, but it's worth a try. Foundation, Yeset, the cave in the swamp. More evidence to show that Colxine's ancestors were gnomes. Cave in the swamp and the concept of a foundation. You might get anything of it. We'll see. Victory. Nyezet, the Tower Sentry. Right, that wasn't hard, except that I need to defeat him. Crown. Ketar. Destiny. Here Colxine outdid himself. His notes indicate I'll find the last Sephiroth by chance. For instance, while I was sitting in the privy or in the roast chicken I ordered at the Hairy Bear. An unknown. Destiny will throw it in my hands. Next time I see Colxine, I'll ask him if he hides his gnomish roots on purpose, fearing racist persecution. So yeah, you just get that for following the main quest. You take that out by you have to defeat the Tower Sentry. That's in the cave in the swamp. So these are the last three I need. Mages. Only rare individuals have the potential to become mages, and many of those with this potential are doomed to madness. As the individual in source, individual in question, also known as the source. Actually, I've already read that. It's the last bit. Simple folk fail to differentiate between witches, sorcerers, and witchers. Anyone who wields magic is regarded as suspicious and godless, but the better educated and those who dwell in large cities know to treat mages with due respect. Magic. Magic is the art of bending the power of chaos to one's will. Practitioners of the art must master a vast and complicated corpus of knowledge, and it seems women have a special predisposition for it. Sorcerers seek out talented children and teach them. Power bound in spell formulae may be used for healing, teleportation, destruction, creating illusions, and altering form. The most famous spells are named after their creators, e.g. Alzura's Thunder or Marigold's Hailstorm. As in, Triss is Maelstrom? Cool. Thanks to magic, it's also possible to create magical glyphs and amulets, such as Witcher talismans, Witcher medallions. The Witcher signs are very simple spells, mostly kinetic or mind-influencing. To use them, one simply needs concentrated will and a hand gesture. Casting signs is not time-consuming, so Witchers use them when fighting monsters. Scoia'tael. The Scoia'tael are a group of elven and dwarven rebels fighting against discrimination of non-humans. They're divided into commando groups or independent squads. Their protests against racism quickly turn to violence. Scoia'tael rob merchant caravans, plunder and burn villages, and kill. Instead of finding a peaceful solution, humans send troops to fight them. Scoia'tael means squirrel in Elven, and the name probably comes from the rebels' habit of attaching squirrel tails to their clothing. Temerian history. Hope you're enjoying this. The first Nilfgaardian invasion began 10 years ago. After crossing the Argona River, the Black Ones attacked Sintra. The capital was taken by surprise, its citizens slaughtered, and the Queen committed suicide. Brugg, Sodden, Temeria stood against Nilfgaard. It seemed the Nilfgaardian offensive was unstoppable, but the three states managed to halt it at the Battle of Sodden. Together, 22 mages fought for the northern kingdoms, 40 of whom died. Yet in the end, it was the mages who negotiated a truce. After 3 peaceful years, during a meeting of the Brotherhood of Sorcerers, there occurred a schism in the organization, so members fought each other. As a result, many died and the Brotherhood disbanded. At the same time, Imperial forces attacked the northern kingdoms. The kings were divided, arguing, and couldn't face Nilfgaard on their own. King Fotis signed a truce with the Black Ones, but it proved short-lived. The Imperial army pushed forward, was not defeated until the Battle of Brenna. This victory proved pivotal, reminding the feuding rulers that Nilfgaard is not invincible. The kings of the north reunited and faced the Black Ones together. Finally, a peace treaty was signed, changing the balance of power in the world forever. Before Lara Darren died in solitude, she gave birth to a daughter, who was adopted by the Queen of Redenia and named Rihanna. At the age of 17, Rihanna married Gidemar, the king of Temeria. 3 years after the wedding, the famous Falka rebellion began, during which pregnant Rihanna was accidentally captured. In prison, she gave birth to twins, and subsequently descended into madness. At the same time, the fierce Falka gave birth to a daughter, whom she abandoned to wage war, leaving the child for the mad prisoner to nurse. Soon after the rebellion was suppressed, Falka was captured and burned at the stake, and King Gidemar regained his wife, with 3 children. So there's a bit of war. Locations. The Hairy Bear is a place for indiscriminate clientele. The innkeeper obviously holds back on the lie, though he waters down the ale generously enough. Don't know what that is. Patrons share the tin mattresses with rats, but most everyone can find their entertainment of choice here. Local fistfight enthusiasts, hustlers and drunkards will all find something to do at the Hairy Bear. It is said that you can even buy the illegal drug Fizztech here, provided you can find a dealer named Coleman. Crypt. There is an old crypt in the outskirts, and it's not been used for a long time. People are afraid to enter it because of monsters that dwell there. The rumor has it that treasure is buried inside the crypt. True it is that people of old were buried there with valuable items. Sometimes the graves of the wealthy were separated from the remainder of the crypt by an additional wall for fear of robbery. Detective's house. As in many large cities of the north, in Vizima one can enlist the services of a private investigator, an expert in sensitive issues, discreet investigations, and tracking suspects. Detective Raymond Marlowe is available at his office day and night. So yes, there's a bit here for me to read. And you know what, I'm going to read it, then I'm going to sign off. The dungeon is where those criminals unlucky enough to fall into the hands of the city guard are kept. Prisoner turnover in the jail is relatively high. Some are released, usually to return after a while. Others are executed on scaffold. Captain Vincent Bias of the city guard is the jail's warden. The dungeon is for its access to the sewers, which run under